Here is an American diplomat getting grilled about Israel-Palestinian policies that just do not make any sense.
Talking about.
But certainly, as you being our top diplomat in the area, you should be able to understand that we should have every expectation that if you're pursuing creating a Palestinian state, that you would have objectively assessed who you think would be the leader of that. Now, let me ask you something else. Do you objectively assess that if they were made a state today, that they would have to be labeled a state sponsor of terror?
Who is the they in that question?
A Palestinian state. Were a Palestinian state created prior to October 7, would it be a state sponsor of terror today?
It's a theoretical question I can't answer.
Would you label them a state sponsor of terror today?
A theoretical question.
Now you're just acting
Especially
like people do in
past.
D.C. Would you label them a state sponsor? Do they meet the requirements? Well, their government is Hamas.
No, if you're talking about Hamas, I've already answered that question.
But that is their government.
No, but we're not talking about Gaza. We're talking about a Palestinian state, and that's a larger question, and it would be a negotiated process.
Who would negotiate that?
The U.S. would offer its good offices to negotiate between the parties.
So we would negotiate it, but it's not up to us to think about who would be the leader of that Palestinian state? You should not objectively assess that?
We have never in the past designated leaders in the guise of such negotiations.
Okay, so I don't think what you're saying exactly adds up here, that you wouldn't assess who would be the leader of this Palestinian state.
For the Palestinians to determine.
But the Palestinians determined this in the past, and they determined Hamas would be their leadership.
So
polling after polling shows they would choose Hamas as their leadership.
PLO is the recognized representative of the Palestinian people. Hamas is an FTO and lies outside of the PLO.
You think the PLO is recognized as the leadership by the Palestinian people?
The Palestinian Authority governs. The PLO is the representative.
You think that's what the Palestinian people believe?
I haven't done polling on this recently.
But as the top diplomat over the Middle East, I would expect that you've reviewed this.
The PLO is the entity that did the Oslo Agreement with Israel.
It appears to me, as my time has expired, I thank you for trying to answer. You have not objectively assessed whether it is wise for America to pursue making a state out of Palestinians, and I suggest you do as the top diplomat over the Middle East.
What's interesting, and that she was about to continue to say until he stopped there, is she talked about the Palestinian Authority being the party that secured, she said, completed, I forget the word she used, the Oslo Accords in the 1990s. It's insane that I have to explain this. I'm a basketball coach. I'm a sports guy. I like music. I like traveling. I like food. My favorite food is sushi. I like hip hop music. I like Afro beats. I like basketball. I watch the NBA. Why am I explaining now that in 1995, mid to late 1990s, during Oslo, where Yasser Arafat, who blindsided both Israel and America with Bill Clinton, and you have this amazing historic picture of them shaking hands at the White House in America, and it looks like we're all good. You guys know what Yasser Arafat did after that? He turned around, made some phone calls, and told the radicals, to revolt. Does she have any idea what the first and second intifadas were? Does she have any idea that in 2001, my family moved to Jerusalem during the midst of the second intifada? That one morning I was grabbing an apple on my way out to school with my brother, and a car bomb went off on my street? Because radical Muslims who did not like the idea of Israel and Palestine, of the Jews and the Muslims having peace and coexisting and having this two-state solution, which is just an absolute ridiculous thought by this point, that Yasser Arafat went to America, made it look like they were trying to attempt to actually come to terms and maybe have some peace with the Jews, turned around, made some phone calls, told people, it's time to revolt. We're not going to have this. Are you kidding me? Go get them. The Intifada revolution that's being shouted now across college campuses is actually an echo from what Yasser Arafat told his people to do to Jews. So when you shout Intifada, Intifada revolution, that's exactly why people like me get agitated by that and upset, and why violence then comes knocking on my door, because that's what you don't realize and what she doesn't realize people advocate for. The Oslo Accords were just the Oslo Accords. It was a label. Didn't create peace. If it created peace, why are we in the position we are in today? Why did Israel have to leave the Gaza Strip in 2005, 2006? Because all of the other radicals, who, by the way, the Palestinian Authority and Hamas don't get along, they kill each other. That's exactly how Hamas got into power, by actually literally displacing, killing its own Muslim brothers and sisters from Fatah in the Gaza, slaughtering them. The violence then started to knock on the doors of the Jews who were living in the Gaza Strip. So the IDF said, hey, we can't deal with this. If we keep you here, you're going to get killed. We have to put you back. We have to put a wall and put you back over here. And if we didn't have that wall, Hamas would have continued and then slaughtered them too. That's why there's a wall. That's why there's a wall and a border and security border fence in the West Bank. She doesn't know that. She doesn't know what the Second Intifada actually did. She doesn't know why the Second Intifada started. She doesn't know that the person that she's claiming to have been the Palestinian Authority leadership to want to have peace with Israel is the same person who basically let the green light go. It's time. It was pre-planned. He knew he wasn't going to actually have long-lasting peace with America and Israel and Jews and the West through the Oslo Accords. Can you imagine how powerful that picture is for the Palestinian narrative to basically use and leverage as, look, our leadership left Palestine to America to go meet with Bill Clinton, but the US broke it. It's insane. Why am I explaining this? I'm a basketball coach, yo. Why am I explaining this? This shows you how much people don't know. You shouldn't talk about this at all if you don't know. Don't talk about it. It's not your business. Make it your business by doing your actual due diligence of research and understanding. She should come to Israel. How about that? Let's start with that. Thank you so much for all your support. See you next video.
Continue the conversation. You can support my work for free. Discord does not cost a thing. It is the best way to connect with me and others who are seeking the truth. The link is in the description. But if you want to take it one step further, my Patreon gives you access to the Israel you don't see, uncovering the untold stories of what mainstream media does not show you. The link is in the description, and it helps me to continue this work. Or if you're just looking to help this thing go, PayPal and Buy Me a Coffee is a really easy way to support me. This channel, this work does not happen without all of you. Thank you. I love you. I'll see you next time.